In middle school, my paragraphs were all messed up, my essays were written in bold. I didn't know how to go about things. I was just like, hey, this looks nice, maybe I should put it like this.
When I was in middle school and I would have a paper that's due, I would usually procrastinate on it a lot just because I didn't know where to start. Something that I learned through LDC is having a very strong thesis, a controlling idea, what is your essay about?
So academically, AMS very much had a range. We had students who were very, very motivated and great middle school students, worked really hard, had high GPAs. We had students who really did struggle. So we sort of represented all populations. Our mission at AMS was to get kids college ready, and those first 2 years were really fundamental.
I taught middle school this year, and just writing a sentence is something that's very daunting for students. They lack the skills to put their ideas on paper. Some of them it's spelling, some of them is they don't know how to write a proper sentence. Especially when you have a lot of different types of learners, it could be something that could be very intimidating for a teacher.
In middle school, they didn't ask us much about why the author wrote that. Instead, it was just, oh, what's the book about, mainly in the facts about the book. And for high school, it was more on why the author did this or did that. It seems like every professor wants that in their essays. I use it in all my papers in college, all of them.
My second semester, I took an English class that was very, very difficult. I wanted to drop it at some point, but then I stayed because I realized that I could understand the reading if I just took the time to break it down, because I had forgotten, hey, I know these skills, and these skills are the skills that I learned through LDC.
The biggest thing that LDC allowed us to do as a school was it allowed students to write all the time.
Something that my professors have told me is that I really go in depth. Other classmates don't necessarily do, and it's because I have this perspective on things that was taught through me through LDC.
What helped me with LDC is in college, mentally I was prepared to read textbooks and write 9 pages on it. I remember Dubkowski asking us every other day to write an essay. I'm so used to writing long pages now.
Well, LDC helped me for applying for college because I definitely had to write a bunch of college essays. So it helped me with my organization, the structure of my essays were definitely stronger because of LDC. Once I got into college, I already had that template, that guideline, so that I never really needed that much help.
Students that first trimester wrote 4 papers, and the 4 papers by second semester turned into 8 papers, and by third semester turned into 12 papers. By the time the kids graduated, they wrote close to 50 papers.
The most important thing that you can do as a teacher is always put stuff in perspective for them. I always tell kids my story about how I wasn't a good writer. Even when I got to college, that's when I really learned how to write, because I was being forced to write papers all the time. So, they have the luxury to do that while in high school. Take advantage of it.
Just this past June, I saw a bunch of our former students who were in college, and if I could pick one sort of thread out from the different stories that they shared, was the fact that they felt really strong in college, especially around writing.